So, this is a story about Timmy and Sarah and their spooky night at the park. All right, here we go. One day, Timmy woke up out of bed and he was super excited. He was ecstatic. He ran down to where his mom and father were in the kitchen. He turns to his mother and says, "Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. There's a brand new park. It was made just down the street. Everything's new, everything's shiny. Can we please, oh, please go?" Well, Timmy's mother turns to Timmy and says, "Oh dear, I would love to go, but I'm far too busy today. How about we go tomorrow?" Well, Timmy didn't like this answer too much, but he sighed and said, "Okay." His father was sitting, reading at the table. Timmy turns to his father and says, "Oh, Dad, oh, Dad, oh, Dad, oh, Dad, will you please take me to the park? Everything's new, everything's shiny. Please, oh, please, can you take me?" Well, his father turns to him and says, "Oh, I would love to go. But Timmy, I have so much to do today, I just can't go. How about we do it tomorrow?" Well, Timmy didn't like this answer either, but he agreed and sighed and said, "Okay." Well, as they are all sitting down at the breakfast table, eating a wonderful breakfast, Timmy's sister, Sarah, walked into the room. Sarah stretched out her arms and said, "Oh, today is a gorgeous day. I have absolutely nothing to do." Timmy's mother turned to her and said, "Nothing?" She goes, "Nothing." Timmy's father turns and says, "Absolutely nothing?" She said, "Absolutely, positively nothing to do." Well, they looked at each other and then looked at Sarah and said, "Then you're taking Timmy to the park." Sarah didn't like this, not one bit. She went, "Do I have to?" And they both answered, "Yes." And Timmy, he just jumped up. He's like, "Oh, it's going to be great, sis. It's going to be awesome. They have all kinds of new, special, shiny. Oh, it's going to be so cool." Well, they finished up their meal and got together a snack for lunch and then walked down the street, through the walkway, around the somewhat spooky forest, under the bridge, up the top of the hill to where they saw it. The brand new park that they had just built. Oh, it was spectacular. Anything that you could possibly want in a park was there. They had swings, they had climbers, they had ropes, they had swings and slides, they had everything. Well, it wasn't long before Timmy saw some friends and they started playing and having a lot of fun. And Sarah even found some of her friends and they started talking and laughing. And before you knew it, the sun had not only risen but was starting to set. And Timmy was saying goodbye to the last of his friends, and Sarah was saying goodbye to the last of her friends. Sarah looked at the time and said, "Oh, Timmy, we got to get home. We're late." Well, they grabbed all their stuff and they started walking up the hill. As they were walking up the hill, Timmy just happened to look behind himself, and he saw a weird, unusual, shadowy like figure off in the distance. Well, he tugged on Sarah's shirt and said, "Hey, Sarah, what's that?" Sarah turned around and looked. "I don't know, but let's just keep walking," she said. And they kept walking. At the bottom of the hill, they both looked back, and what did they see at the top of the hill but that strange, unusual, shadowy figure? Well, it wasn't just a strange, unusual, shadowy figure. They started hearing some moaning and groaning from behind, going, "Woo!" Well, Timmy and Sarah were not going to stay off for one bit to figure out what that was. Timmy says, "Let's get out of here," and Sarah agreed. They walked faster through the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, they looked back, and the shadowy figure had gotten closer and louder, waving its what could be arms, going, "Woo!" Well, they were going to stay to figure out. No, sirree. They started walking even faster around the spooky forest, but the shadowy figure kept getting on them, getting closer and closer and closer. Well, Timmy and Sarah at this point, they were at the walkway. They decided just to start to run as fast as they possibly could. They ran down the walkway. turned around, and the shadowy figure was super close, going even louder, going, "Whoa!" Well, they weren't even going to look back anymore. They ran right to their door. They're pounding on their door, going, "Mommy, mommy, 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 open up!" Their mother opens the door and went, "What in the world?" Before she could finish their sentence, they ran in, one right after the other. They jumped over the couch and said, "Close the door!" Their mother closed the door and put her hands on her hips and said, "What are you two doing?" Before they could say anything, that shadowy figure was in the window of their door, and there was a knock. They both cried out to their mother, "Don't open the door!" Their mother just laughed and said, "Oh, you guys are being ridiculous." She opened the door. They gasped, "No!" And then when she opened it, what was right in front of her was their father. He went, there, Timmy and Sarah's mother just said, "Dear, dear, you came back from the dentist. Your mouth is full of gauze. Don't say anything. Come inside. Dinner is ready." Well, Timmy and Sarah had a sigh of relief and said, "Oh my goodness, it was only Dad." Well, sitting at the dinner table, they told the tale of the spooky shadow that turned out to be their father, and they had a delightful dinner. And that is the story of Timmy and Sarah's spooky night at the park.